So welcome YouTube, and we're going to be welcoming Facebook right now. And today, this is really for the course members, and it's also sort of a sample for people who are not part of the course. This is going to be Module 1, an introduction to our home sellers course, the California Home Sellers Workshop at winnerscheck. Well, the way to access it is to go to winnerscheck.com. This is actually inside our membership site at winnerscheck.org. I am going to pull it up, and we're going to talk about disclosures and how to use them to prepare to sell your home for top dollar and negotiate with buyers, negotiate with potential investor buyers, and how we would also use it to negotiate a significant savings when working with the top listing realtors in your area. So let me pull it up now. We'll go over there. And this is currently what the inside of the workshop looks like before I add in the live Q&As that we'll be having. And this is actually sort of a head start for the course. So you can come in here and logically you'll see welcome, questions for my live training calls, and that's really where if you're not going to be able to attend, or if you want to get your questions in so that I can answer them, this is where you're going to put your questions, and then I'll take a look at them on Monday, and we'll answer them on Tuesday or whatever day we currently have set up in there. I'm going to adjust to the client's needs. Now, this is I just thought good information, a download from the National Association of Realtors about what buyers and sellers are looking for, so you'll have an idea of what we're doing. And then because I want to give people confidence, I know I've always told people, hey, the California Association of Realtors selected me to train realtors on how to conduct multiple offer negotiations, and I believe that's key. But here's a list. It hasn't been fully updated. It doesn't even have all the sales, but here's a list of 150 some sold by my brokerage. Almost all these clients, I'd say all but 10, came from me. Sometimes other agents in my office sold them for me, but here's a list of 150 homes. If you go throughout California, that list is over 200 by now. Because this was, well, whatever. That's just to show you that I know what I'm talking about. Plus, I've advised hundreds of more people about disclosures and selling, and I've referred buyers and sellers out all over the country. Okay, so you can read that, come up to speed if you'd like, but here's the point. If you're going to sell for top dollar, you've got two choices. One, and you're going to have to fill out your disclosures anyway. But one, you could just say, John, I'm ready to go. I like what I saw. Can you refer me or help me find a top realtor in my area, or refer me to someone I already know? Seek a 30 to 50% referral fee, and I'll talk to you about the likelihood of that. I think every agent will pay a third or 30% referral fee. I've never been turned down. With 50, we have to have you more prepared, and the promo has to probably be enough, and maybe not every agent would agree. Some may. So we talk about what you'd like to do and what I think is wise to do, and then we go after it. And if you want to try 50%, fine. But at that point, I'm going to be a little more leery and say some agents might turn us down on the referral. And then we'll have already discussed your share of that referral fee, which if you're in this course, it's going to be somewhere between sharing it 50-50 with me, or probably 80-20 if you opted into one of those programs. And so now what I think you should do is click on transfer disclosure statement. And even what I wrote here, this is just, I wouldn't even worry about it right now. I would download one of these. This is the one from RPI. I'll put the California Association of Realtors one in here. I originally, when I wrote this, I assumed many people wouldn't have realtors yet, and some might choose not to have realtors, so I put in alternative forms. This is the DRE handbook. You may find it interesting, but this is very similar to the one your realtors will use, because it's all off that. These are all from what I've told. There are these all over the net. Almost all of them seem to be modeled on exactly how they should be out of the DRE handbook one that's on the left. It's just a cleaner format. So you want to read these questions to yourself, and as you're going through your house, you check off the things. Now, if things aren't working, this is one of the tips. If things are not working, get rid of them. Like if you've early in my career, not as much now, but trash compactors were frequently in houses and broken. So people would be like, they wouldn't remove it, and then the buyers would be like, well, I want a working trash compactor, and then they negotiate or have it repaired. Easily fixed. Trash compactors that aren't working, just replace them or take them out beforehand. Then you don't have to fix it later. Or you get more complicated. You could say in the listing that we're not repairing the trash compactor. Those are all things we'll talk about other course. Those are questions really for our lives. But anyway, you go our live coaching where you get the Q&As. So you go through here and you see what's included. Like I said, if it's not working and you're not planning to fix it, don't include it. Then you go through here and you want to read all this if there's defects. And then when you go through the house, if you see them, then you want to record it either here or on another piece of property. And you can just do it quickly, because if you're working with me right now, what I'd suggest is that you just make notes here and then say, John, I'm ready to go, and then I'll take your contact information. The other seller, we might as well set it up properly, or any other sellers if there are. But really, it only needs you. It doesn't even need to be signed, because that's later in the process when you're actually on the market. But we're going to prepare your disclosures on the software, because the software asks you the questions. It types in really clean. It comes out beautifully, and then we can go over it if you still have questions. And so really, this is just to take notes. You're going through your home, and you're taking notes, and this helps immensely in many ways. One, it helps you see the eyes as the eyes of the buyer. Two, you know what you're going to disclose, so it'll help you pricing later. Three, it adds credibility when you do a good job with this, because you're going to be giving these to the buyers ahead of time. And in fact, when I am negotiating referrals with your realtor, if you opt into that program, I say, look, we've already gone over disclosures. We've discussed pricing. Expectations are easily understood. We'd love to hear your ideas on the pricing. We'd like to know how you plan to conduct multiple negotiation offers. I can help with that because I've been trained. And so you're coming as someone who's ready to go, helping us get stronger referral fees. So that's what you do. You download this, you read it. You don't have to sign it. Don't worry about the agent part. Get familiar with it. So as you're walking through your home, you're taking notes. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the seller property questionnaire here. You're going to download it. Now, CAR has California Association. Here's a little explanation. I read this and I explain. You really should be going over this with a lawyer. That's what they say. That's one of the reasons why this course is made, so we can talk about it. Realtors aren't supposed to advise you on these things like, well, what if my garage isn't permitted? What do I do? Well, a realtor can just say, just write it down. They can't really explain it. They can't help you decide how much of an explanation you need. A lot of people over-explain and scare realtors away and scare people away. Other times, for instance, let's say it sounds like a scary thing, but it's been repaired, or it's not scary because realtors can't really talk to you about that. You can talk to me about it. And many lawyers will feel very comfortable with this process because it's like doing a deposition. You tell your clients, all you have to do is answer the call of the question. But, while you're sitting there, if they say, well, yeah, I did have a problem in the past. I did run somebody over. And if they just said nothing else, well, maybe they would say that, they ran somebody over who was holding a gun to their head and ran out in front of them, or who knows. I mean, the point is there are times to explain it and times to not. I didn't do a great job there, but that's how the lawyer side of it. Let me just say, in the real estate side of it, if people have repaired, let's say your roof was leaking, and the roof has been repaired. That's what I would say. I'd say there was a leak with the roof. We saw that there had been a water intrusion. We called up a repair company. We spent $2,000 on the repairs, and we have not been aware of a leak since. I wouldn't say, and the house no longer leaks, right? You're not warranting that it's not leaking going forward. You don't want to do that in your disclosures. You just want to disclose facts. Now, again, though, while you're going to download the SPQ here, you're going to refresh yourself with it, and as you're going through your house, you're going to take notes on that form, because then you're going to go to the link that we've set up. You'll start the process. You'll type in your answers. Then if you have any questions, you'll ask me to review them with it, and we'll go over them, and then your disclosures will be prepared. So that is the fast start to home seller disclosure module. Now, I know, I don't know, I think every time, I think even my brother, everybody I've ever done with this has had questions. So you can have a choice. You can put your comments in here, right here, and I'll read them. You can, really, that's where we're going to do it. I have another spot where people can put in their questions. I guess maybe that's better. We'll put our questions in question. We'll put them in here. So we'll put them in here. Put your comments in here, and then I will go over them at the on our live training. If you'd like to do it that way, or I will give you a link and you can set up a 20-minute consult. Normally it will be coverable. You'll have me take a look at the answers. I'll go over it with you. And then you'll go back and change them. We'll be good, and the software will allow you to download it. And then when you go to sell the property, you can make sure it's still up to date, then sign it, and then make sure the buyers have it. I also like to, again, as I said, I like to have it prepared for the sellers. So that is the home seller disclosure workshop part of our home seller disclosure. You can ask questions in the lives, or you can set up that consult with me to go over your home seller disclosures. Now, let's say that you've done the disclosures. In the next module, we have that'll be available for you. And normally it's set up for a week, but because I've now made this easier, the next day or two after you join, the second module will be released, and that is the expert home pricing module. We'll talk about the tools that you should use. We compare online pricing tools in there. I will suggest that you should look at Zillow, look at Realtor.com. You might want to look at Redfin. Look at mine. I'll put a link to it at instanthomeprices.com. I might even just be able to. That's probably the easiest thing. I'll just have you fill it out in here, and when you use this, I'll get notified, and then I'll send you the link to our disclosure paperwork. But we'll get that going in here. Maybe for that reason, I'll even put this above. By the time you get here, it might be rearranged a little bit. But if you want to fill out the home pricing module and then ask questions about pricing, I'll help you establish, without actually seeing the property. It's always subject to change. But we'll establish a fair market value. Perhaps we'll talk about list price and list price strategies. And we'll talk about, this is a very important price, is the maximum likely selling price. See if we can develop that together. And that would then lead us into discussions about the sequencing for your home sale. Like, are you ready to go right then to locate the best realtor in your area? I like people who've sold 20 or 30 properties. But we make exceptions. Like, let's say someone sold 100 properties and the only other people in your area sold 1 or 2, and there's nothing super special about your homes. Well, I'm going to go with someone who's sold 100 homes nearby. But let's say you've got a special property, it's views, it's a multi-million-dollar property, and an agent who's only sold one home in your area, but recently sold the home and has like 10 or 15 buyers, and we believe him or her, well, then we might consider that agent too. But that's the things we talk about, so we help you make the best decisions. Now, we have a bonus module right now. Every paragraph in the California Association of Realtors purchase and sale agreement, in case, while you're working with a realtor, you get something in at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you want to know what that paragraph means. I don't expect you to go through all these ahead of time, but it does come up, and people have had access to this. So among my clients are like, yeah, I saw that. And they've asked me questions. So that is the core of our home sellers workshop that's already there. Really, the core is after you get up to speed, it's our consultations and our live coaching programs. I mean, as time goes on, you might ask more questions in there. So that's the home seller workshop. Now, the best part of this right now is that if you're not currently listed with a real estate agent, your home's in California, if you go to winnerscheck.com, you can sign up for this for $7. So you're going to get the workshop, download the other forms, and then you're going to get a link so that you can put this in a beautiful form, and it's going to help. And we're going to then go over your disclosures with you. You'll have to talk to an attorney, and we'll set up your pricing strategy. And then, I'm doing all that because I think that you'll agree 90 to 99% of the time that it's probably best to work with the best agents in your area. And why not have us refer it? Then you get to have me overseeing the file, bounce questions off of. If the buyers aren't performing, your agent might say, we'll give them more time, but you're getting tired of it. What should you do? The buyer's lender is not performing and they want to move in early and sign a lease agreement. Should you do that? I'd say 99% of the time the answer is going to be no. And why? And they're like, but they're pressuring us, and they've got the house right. And you can blame your lawyer and have them call me. We work together like that. So, in exchange for sharing that referral fee with you, you put an attorney on your team. You put an agent who has been selected by the California Association of Realtors to train realtors in multiple offers, and you have my help in helping you select a great agent and really turning the best agents into your area into agents working at discount broker prices. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. So that's why it's $7. One, it's kind of fun. Two, as we get more content in there, the course itself will probably be worth a lot more money, and I'll sell it for far more money and then offer my consultation separately for the normal price that I charge $300 or $400 for. And believe me, I've done a lot of consultations on disclosures for $300 to $400. Many times realtors have told clients, hey, we've got an issue here, you want to talk to a lawyer, and people have found me on the net. So I know that this comes up for a lot of people, and now if you don't already have a realtor, it's only $7. So thanks, talk to you later, bye. Now, if you're on Facebook, you can go ahead and just type anything in the comments if it's sometime in March or later, and I'll give you a link to sign up. It's the easiest thing to do. If not, go to winnerscheck.com. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.